right, Kian Brown checking in with people that I love, admire, and respect. Today is no different. We've got Emmy award-winning journalist Shiba Russell. What's up, Shiba?
Hey, Kian. Thanks for having me on. I haven't seen you in forever.
I know
This is great.
I was telling you we miss you in New York. Shiba
Mhm.
used to be in New York, one of our anchors in New York, and now she is in Atlanta, 11 Alive, killing it. How's
Yeah.
that going for you? How's Atlanta treating you? Do I need to come down there?
I'll call you up when I need you. So another NBC station here, and I think the best way to describe Atlanta is Black excellence. It's great. People are very welcoming, and I mean they get you. They get me here, you know.
Good. That's good. Now,
And the
so
weather's great. The weather's
I
great as
heard
well.
that.
hmm
Weather is
So I love that
good.
part of it. I think today might be either 70 something or 80 something degrees. We have very, very few cool days, but we have all the seasons as well.
Excellent, excellent. Well, it's nothing like New York, so you are welcome to come to New York
Yes.
back anytime.
I miss New York. I do, especially during this pandemic, because I was there for 9/11 and it makes it like it's another 9/11. And I feel like I want to be with my city, you know. I spent many years in New York, living in New York, the Bronx, Long Island, Manhattan, you name it. And I'm a Jersey girl. And so during this time where my family and friends are there in the New York, New Jersey region, I feel this pull that I want to be back with everybody, especially during this time.
Well, some of that is my pull. Some of that is us, trying to, we want Sheba back. So it's a real pull. It is a real pull.
I'll send you to the network executive's office one by one. Launch the army.
We want Sheba. Bring her back. So I would like to know what is one kind of character trait that you have had to develop over time that has you in this seat today? What have you developed over time?
Um, Sleep is not necessary.
Mm, I agree with
But
that.
I do. I mean, it is necessary. You have to have that drive, that will to not take no for an answer, to always search for the truth, to uh, I naturally have this competitive spirit about me. I want us to tell stories first, to tell the best stories. I've always been a perfectionist. That probably is one of the things that has led to my success. But I love what I do. I mean, when I was in high school, I discovered storytelling. It wasn't presented to me as news. So when I found it in high school, it was a TV production class where I could edit and I could shoot video and do music videos with my family and write and so it just created all these different dynamics of my personality and the things that I love to do in life, and it just turned out to be a perfect match. And every day is not the same. That's another thing.
What's the hardest part about parenting inside of your kind of situation? You're a TV anchor. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that has goes down with that, especially when there's breaking news and stuff, round the clock coverage.
Yeah,
How is that?
yeah. Kian, I always feel like, and I think moms experience this all the time, we never feel like we're getting everything right. So during this pandemic, I feel like a terrible mom because I'm working 50 hours a week,
Wow.
and but then I have to say to myself, okay, she's sleeping for most of it because she's a teenager. She likes to stay up till God knows what time. So I've had to learn to be a little easier on myself, and I talk to her about how bad I feel because when I get home, I'm tired. We hang out, we may exercise together, and then I nap, and then I'm back up to hang out with her a little bit more, but I don't feel like I'm there for her like these other parents have been with their kids during the pandemic. You see all these great videos of families, putting puzzles together and making chalk, sidewalk chalk artwork together. And I'm not doing that. I'm having a completely different experience during this pandemic, and it's one of which I feel mommy guilt that I'm not there enough, and it never goes away. Even at 15, it never goes away. But I'm a very present parent. I always make sure I listen to her when I get home. I think I probably overcompensate because I know that I'm away from home a lot during this pandemic.
Well, based on your words and her words,
Yeah.
you're a superhero. So there's a lot that you're doing amazingly well, including being
Yeah.
a great mom.
Thank
So
you.
and just to say, look, you don't have time for no sidewalk chalk stuff. Your TikToks with your daughter can be a whole different kind of thing, and so
Yeah,
we
I
want to
mean,
see
we
that.
still have our, we don't have it on TikTok, but we ever since she was a little girl, we have our kitchen dances that we do practically every night. It's just not on video.
That's good. See, she
Yeah,
loves it. You love it. That's it.
yeah,
I'm grateful to know you and to hear all about those amazing moments.
yeah,
This pandemic has had a lot of people be in action and use this time of reflection. For me, I'm starting the series of checking in with people that I love, admire, and respect.
yeah.
What other stories have you seen that have touched your heart about some positive things that have come out of this pandemic?
There's so many that have
Yes.
happened. Um, because I anchor two newscasts, and so that's about 2.5 hours of news that I anchor. Plus, we have cut in, so it's about 3 hours of news a day that I'll anchor. I'm not able to go out and tell stories like I used to as a reporter, but I get a lot of story pitches coming my way. And so I filter those out to the news team, and I really advocate hard for the stories that I really think we should cover. There's one story about a nurse here in Atlanta who is in New York City now helping out, talking about seeing 10 to 12 bodies a night. And just one night she took to Instagram and cried her eyes out. She needed to take a mental health day because she was working like 21, 22-day stretches um, in Brooklyn. And so I really, and it's interesting because one of our viewers sent me that story via Instagram, her stories through, the Instagram story sent me her story. And so I advocated hard for her to make sure that her story gets out there. Another story that was brought to my attention today is an ER doctor in Atlanta who, through COVID and working the front line, she's been able to continue to breastfeed her baby. And she took a powerful picture with her and her child, breastfeeding her child with her lab coat on. And I found that story through another medical doctor friend here in Atlanta. She just wanted to shout out her girlfriend. And I said, hey, can we talk to her? It's not going to be me speaking to her, but I paired her up with another reporter, and that reporter is going to catch up to her, and it will be on our news. And, a large part of what I'm doing right now is making sure our shows are all encompassing and that we're covering these really these stories that need to be told.
Yes.
And I have my own Instagram show that I've launched during the pandemic called
Yes.
Friends. So I say, if our news team can't get to you, because we are trying to get to a lot of stories, and I'll have you on Shiba and Friends. And sometimes I feel like the story may be even big enough that we may talk about having them on Shiba and Friends later on. But it's stories like that. This mom, we hear about so many parents who are working day in, day out as healthcare workers on the front line. They're not able to spend time with their families. They have to live in the garage or live in a hotel, not come home during the pandemic.
Yeah.
This mom is working in the ER, still coming home, changing her clothes, showering, and breastfeeding her baby, who is now 8 months old, making sure she breastfeeds her baby. You know how hard it is to breastfeed through 8 months? This mom is still doing this while on the front lines. So I'm really eager to see that story today. The other stories
Right.
that have just captured my heart are these community stories, people coming outside their homes, making sure the neighborhood is gets a couple songs for the day, making sure um, their loved one, that they hold a community parade for them. We had a story like that on the news a couple weeks ago where a woman is dealing with stage 4 cancer, and her friends and family came and did a whole caravan for her to show her that they love her and that they miss her.
Amazing stories. Amazing. And thank
Yeah,
you for doing that. And thank you for bringing those stories and also having your own Sheba and Friends. I look forward to seeing more of
yeah,
those lives on IG.
yeah,
How I'm very opinionated. I know that you are too. We all are.
yeah.
How do you strike a balance, especially on your social media, as things are getting smaller and smaller in our world, to take the journalistic integrity of being in the middle and asking those questions and being able to speak to anybody, um, and then have your own opinion?
Yeah. So are you talking about specifically like Georgia reopening? Are you talking about something like that?
Maybe, yeah, very political stuff. Typically
Yeah.
political, yeah.
It's interesting because reopening states was not even a political issue a couple weeks ago, like us just discussing whether that would happen or not. Because when you see the plan taking shape with the White House and the governors, they have this clear cut plan on what they're going to do before they reopen. And then the states reopen, and a lot of those benchmarks are not made. It has now turned into a political story. And that's one of the things as a journalist that I have disliked about this part, this phase of covering the pandemic, that now, because when you say, I don't feel comfortable with our state reopening yet, it's now become a political issue. People think that you feel one way about the governor or the president. I think that's been the frustrating part about it all. I just try to be as honest as I can with people. I haven't gotten my hair done since early January. My hairstylist is not open. I probably would go see her if it was just me and her, no other people in the salon. But I think there are ways to safely get out there. But I see a lot of people not doing that. Like they're not wearing their masks and they're not social distancing. And even now, just wearing a mask has become a political issue. People don't want their rights trampled on. They want to be able to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
All of it just really concerns me, Kian. I was just online today on Twitter, and there's a new report out that being in crowded spaces that you can get, I mean, we've heard this before, I don't know how many times, that you could perhaps get it just in the air by being in a crowded space with not a lot of ventilation. So my duty is just to ask the big questions, make sure we have the right guests on, and to make sure that we present all the facts that we can for folks, because people are really fearful. So my goal from the very beginning has been to keep people calm, present the facts, and really to be here for them. Our morning audience here in Atlanta expects me to be there for them, and that I don't take lightly at all. I consider it a blessing to be here every morning for them. So I don't take that lightly.
And I saw your new best friend is your small mini flat irons. I did see that recently. So you're doing
Yeah,
a great job.
that's for the edges and for the spots right next to the scalp. It took me forever to do my hair last night. And can I just say, because people are like, "Oh, you're going to save money." I normally do my hair. I normally do wash it and blow it out and things like that every couple times a week. But now, it's gotten, the roots are coming out. Like now, I need help. It's long. I need help. I, you know.
So we're going to pick
I
it
mean, yeah.
for barbers and beauty folks to be essential services for that declaration to come on. That's the next declaration for the
Right, but we
governors.
need them to be safe. Actually, it's a declaration here in Georgia. They can open. They can
Wow.
open, but a lot of barbers and hairstylists and nail technicians have chosen to wait. They want the numbers to go down more before they reopen. And so I said to my hairstylist, I'm not rushing you. My daughter's in braids. I mean, we need to get her braids out, but I said, I'm not rushing you. Whenever you can open, you open. What's the worst that's going to happen? I come to work with a ponytail on? I mean, I'm about to get braids. And I could do that in Atlanta.
Yes. New York, not so much. But you know what?
Maybe New York. Maybe New York.
Maybe.
The country has
Yes.
evolved, which is a good thing. Yeah.
It's true. In
Yes.
California, I think they have the Crown Act, right? So
Yeah.
that was like huge. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could rock that. You can make that
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
All right, Shiba Russell,
All right.
Emmy
Yeah.
award-winning journalist, currently in Atlanta, 11 Alive, formerly from New York. We miss you so much. Thank you for checking in with me, and we got to do this more often.
Yes, we do. We do. I miss you. I miss New York. I miss New
Miss you too.
Jersey. Kiss the sidewalk for me, please.
I shall. Take care.
Okay. Bye.